everybody! Welcome to another podcast. I know it's been a while, and I'm glad to be back. As you can see, I'm sweating kind of hard, and I'm breathing heavy because I had a lot of technical problems before I even started. But that's okay, because we're doing this, and with me today is, once again, Victoria's Secret model, the lovely Destiny Davidson. How are you doing?
I'm good.
That's perfect. Today we are back with The Sims. Again, they disappoint us once more with their terrible expansion packs, and we're going to talk about it today. We got some new stuff coming out. They got trailers that have been released, and we are going to go ahead and give it our best critique, so let's go ahead and get to it. Now, this podcast might be cut a little short because we are busy people, and our lives don't just consist of YouTube, but, personal lives as well. So, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about The Sims 4. So let's first talk about the trailer that they had. Now this trailer was the first one. They released it on Instagram, and this was showing some of the new things, expansion packs, and also stuff packs that they wanted to release. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Destiny here, and she's going to tell you her thoughts on what they showed.
Well, they showed a little tiny clip of like 15 seconds, people eating and a kid playing, looking under his bed. But after you go through lots of information and you find out more, it's really stuff packs. I think, are they both stuff packs? Or one of them expansion pack, I don't know. They're packs anyway for The Sims 4. Of restaurants and kid stuff.
Yeah, and I'll have the trailer up here for you guys as well while we talk over it, so you guys can see what we saw. And this was posted on Instagram.
It's not the official trailer.
It's not the official trailer. It's just it's kind of more, I would say, maybe a teaser trailer, just to kind of show what they are going to be introducing in the, I guess, next expansion pack and stuff pack. Now, I didn't really see anything for an expansion pack. I guess it was more stuff packs, like she said. I didn't see any expansion pack teasers, but anyway, what do you think about that?
What do I think about that?
Yeah, I can see you're already ready to blow up.
Well, I just made a video saying that my story is too long to tell in that video. Well, this is my story now. The reason I don't play Sims 4 anymore is because of this. They decided to release a restaurant pack, probably like get the food or something, and like, I don't know, get kid stuff or something like that. And they decided to do that. Meanwhile, they made posts and things like that for pets. But they're going to do their own thing and forget about the original players who want pets, who want university and seasons and things like that. And I get that seasons and university and things like that, they're going to take longer because you really have to get the best quality possible. But when it comes to things like just throwing out random stuff packs, like I don't understand why they decided to do restaurants, which should have been in the base game. And if you're going to do kid stuff, you might as well just do the whole generation stuff packs, which to me is just plain stupid why you're not going to. So after this little I don't know, teaser thing, and I found out, and I'm not getting them, most likely not getting them, because they're probably going to be stupid, and I'm not going to waste my money anymore on Sims 4 unless it's university or something that I know, or they come out with a really, really good pack that sounds absolutely amazing. I'm not doing any more videos on Sims 4, and I'm probably going to, I don't know if I'm going to undownload it. How do you uninstall it?
Did you mean delete the game?
Yeah,
content.
I think it's
undownload it.
Origin and just not play with it. So any kind of sim games I'm doing, it will be in Sims 3 because the Sims 4 just kind of crapped up.
Yeah, well. So do you think that they can redeem themselves possibly? Is there a chance of redemption?
I don't know. Not at the, I mean, at this point, like we talked about in the last video about how hot tub and toddlers, they should have been updates and they should have been in the game already. Well, the thing is that I mean, hot tubs you had to buy a whole pack to get. So they do have hot tubs, but you have to buy a whole like $9 pack to get it. And then toddlers, they're still not in the game, and people are still asking for them, which I don't get why they don't talk to the people who want them, because I mean the simmers who are playing the games are giving them the money to do what they're doing. And if people stop buying their stuff, I mean, they're gonna be out of a business.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we talked about this in the last video we did. I'm not, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm not I guess you could say, a true professional sim player. I kind of came around to The Sims during The Sims 3. I didn't really play much of that, and then I started playing The Sims 4 right after that. So I don't really know a lot about the franchise. So my opinion, although I do agree with what she's saying, you may not listen to me because I'm not that professional. But with The Sims 4, I do think that there are a lot of errors in the game, especially the base game. I think one thing that I think keeps me from playing it is the base game. The base game is just, there's not really much to do in there, not a lot of challenges to take on, a lot of places you can go, not a lot of things that would keep me wanting to play more of it. So it was nice to create a character. I mean, it was really fun to do that because you got to do a lot of detailing and add a lot of features and things. But even still, that eventually kind of got boring. I mean, one of the things I would have liked to see was a little bit more clothing. I have a challenge that I do on the other channel, the Bloodmage channel that we have. And of course, when I'm creating these characters, they all end up starting to look alike, and they start wearing kind of the same clothes. And the only way that they start being able to differentiate themselves is if I go and get custom content. And in order to do that, I need a lot of custom content in order to really give them their own personality, because there's not enough clothes, aspirations, and personality traits that can make them unique and distinct. And at some point, I have two characters that may both end up having the same trait, and I don't realize it until I go to play the game. I'm like, oh, well, these guys have the same trait. So I can't even make my people unique. I think a lot of the expansion packs and stuff packs that they came out with aren't really the greatest. They're not bad, but they're not the greatest expansion packs. The only one that was interesting to me was the Get Together. I like that one. But the Get to Work was not bad, but there's only like a few you could choose. I think it's a scientist, a policeman.
You can be a scientist, a police officer. You can be a doctor, and you also have to be photography kind of thing.
Photography, yeah. So for me, it's not enough. There wasn't a lot in that expansion pack for me to say, oh wow, I can't wait. Now, it wasn't a bad one. I don't have it. I only have the Get Together pack. Of course, Destiny, she has that expansion pack and Get Together, so she has one up on me. But for me, it wasn't really worth $40. I think every expansion pack is just so expensive. You've got to spend $40 on the expansion pack, then you got to spend $10 on all the stuff packs. You're coming out paying over easily $100 for all of that stuff. And although it might be worth it because you get a lot more items and content, it's not worth the amount of money that they're asking for, because it's not enough to really wow me. It's not enough to say, oh wow, this is really fantastic, this is just awesome. You know, a lot of the stuff packs I do feel could be in updates. They don't really need to have their own stuff pack that you got to pay $10 for it. One of them, I think, is the kitchen stuff. I like it. It looks nice, but that could have been a free update. I mean, God knows.
There's no really kitchen stuff in the kitchen stuff. It's mainly clothes.
Well, yeah, and God knows they could have definitely have just put that in an update, because, I mean, they could have some more designs in the base game. I mean, we don't need to be stuck with what we're given. You know, it's kind of like you get those games where you're given the base game, and if you want to make it if you want to make that game great, you got to put a lot of money into buying all this extra stuff just to make it fun. That's like a game that puts all of its time in its DLCs but makes its base game terrible, because they want you to buy all of the DLCs and expansion packs that they have instead of making the base game good enough to where it's entertaining. I mean, I played The Sims 3 a lot more during back then and now, and of course the base game of it is very entertaining, and I'm able to do a lot more in the base game in The Sims 3 than The Sims 4. And I think that speaks a lot of volumes for how the game is supposed to get better the more you make it. So from Sims 1 to Sims 4, it's supposed to be better each and every time. It's supposed to bring new features that make it different from the previous game, but it's also supposed to take elements from the previous game and put it with The Sims 4. Now, I've actually done a lot of research and looked around, and I read a lot of comments from people comparing The Sims 4 to The Sims 3, and I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't compare The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 because those are two different games. There are two different unique styles. I disagree a bit because it's in the Sims franchise. If you're going to make The Sims 4, it should be better than The Sims 3. I mean, because when you have The Sims 3, and if you're a person who says, well, The Sims 3 was one of the best Sims games released, and you're looking to play The Sims 4, you want The Sims 4 to take those elements and make them better. So why would you not compare the two to each other? I mean, that would make sense. I mean, you've got a lot of expansion packs for The Sims 3. A lot of people who are Sim players, they have their favorite, whether Sims 3, Sims 2, the original Sims. To me, Sims 4 isn't living up to the expectations that it should. It should be living up to higher expectations, but because they're not doing enough in there, you kind of are just left with almost like the end of the barrel. It's like they're not terrible games or expansion packs, but they're not good enough to sustain you to want to play it more. You get the expansion pack, and then how long is it you start playing it before you stop playing it? Unless you're doing a video and your videos consist of these being in these expansion packs or being in these worlds, I mean, are you really playing those expansion packs on a day-to-day basis? I mean, for me, Sims 3, I do university, that's where I'm at all the time, and I like it. It's its own place. It feels like a university. Really fun stuff. Got its own clothes, and it's got a lot of stuff you can do. In the base game of The Sims 4, you can pretty much watch your sim go places, but you can't really do anything fun. You can go to the gym, you can go to the library, you can go watch kids at the park and be a pedophile if you want to, but other than that, it's no, like, when it gets dark, it's no clubs or anything. It's just, well, nobody's at the park or, well, there's not a lot of people at the library, or there's very few people even at the gym. I mean, I've been to the gym so many times and there's like only one or two other simmers there, so it's like, well, where are all the people at? Then you can walk around, but at nighttime it's like it's even worse because of the fact that, well, once it's nighttime, what do? You just sit and literally just watch your sim go to the kitchen, get some food, and sit down and just watch it eat and watch TV. So it's not enough to keep it alive, to keep that, that passion, that, drive to want to play more of The Sims 4. And they're releasing a lot of expansion packs that I don't really know if people really necessarily want it. I think people wanted, weather, pets, university. I know I'm waiting for the weather and the college thing. Now, if it's one of those things where they're just taking their time and working on it, then that's fine. Do what you have to do. However, if they're not working on it at all, they don't plan on working on it, I'm going to be very disappointed because we're not really left with a lot of things. I think for me, Get Together is probably the best one you could get for your money, just because for me, it fits what I like very well. Young life, going to the beach, dance, you can dance, got the DJ. That's cool. Especially woohooing in the bushes. I mean, come on now. I'm not going to do it in real life because I don't want to get thorns up my butt, but I will do it in Sims. I'm just saying.
That's the only thing you had. That's the only
I'm just saying, hey, it was in there. You have to acknowledge every part of the expansion pack. You can't just look at all the great stuff, the DJing, the dance moves, the dance floor, the s'mores, the singing, and the lullabies. You gotta understand they allow you to woohoo in the bushes. And that is important. You don't know how that's going to help in the future with that sim. That sim could bring up confidence, be an
You can
adventurer.
also pee in the bushes.
That's no fun. Everybody, you can do that. You can just go outside and pee in the bush. But I mean, how many people? How many people are actually going to go into a bush and woohoo? Come on. But in the Sims game,
Well, I mean, people do it.
I know people do it, and it's probably I don't really understand how, but I'd love to know. I really don't want to know, but it would be it's interesting to understand how that works. But in a sense, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna go woo in the bushes, But my sim, if he's feeling the mood, he gonna go woohoo in the bush, or she gonna go woohoo in the bush. She's doing it for me. She's allowing me to have the experience through there. What are you doing? Why are you moving? You are not supposed to be moving, young lady. But anyway, I just think The Sims 4 is not where it should be. It has an ability to redeem itself, but the question is it going to redeem itself? Because if it's not really doing it now, I don't really have faith it's going to do it in the future. Now, again, for all you people who love The Sims 4, it's not a bad game at all. And the expansion packs and stuff packs, they're not terrible. They're just not worth my money. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to spend about $70 on stuff packs and then spend $80 on 2 expansion packs just to, just so I can have the ability to do all the things that I could have did if they just made it a free update. I mean, that's just how I feel. And those expansion packs are probably going to make the game much better, but if I have to depend on expansion packs and stuff packs to make the game better, and it can't be one of those things where the base game itself is already good and these expansion packs just enhance the ability to make it better, then to me that's not really a good game. A good game should be able to stand on its own through the base, and it gets better as you add more content onto it. But I know there are people out there who love The Sims 4, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just not a big fan of it. That's all. I don't have it, and not everybody has money to put in there, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have the gate open?
But yeah, so that's just my 3 cents. Anything you'd like to add?
I feel like The Sims, people who make The Sims 4, I forgot who it was again,
Isn't it just
because one of the companies got dropped or something.
Wasn't it Maxis that got dropped?
I don't remember. I had to go look up.
It was EA, and then it said Maxis. Well, is it still Maxis? I don't know.
One of them got dropped. I don't remember.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, but they don't do a very good job of informing us. Like, if they are creating, like, I don't know, say a university, they are working on a university, then I feel like they need to inform us and say, hey, look, we're beginning this, just, or here's a list of games we plan on making, maybe just 3 or 4, just, it's a very small list, don't have to be big, and just say, hey, look, this is what we're creating, or,
here's a teaser.
Yeah, they need to give us more information. They're not very good at information. I know, because I started with The Sims 3, but I don't know if that one's my favorite or not, but I started with The Sims 3, and I saw that they did happen to give you a lot of information on their website. That's another thing. The Sims 4 they have a website, but it's not very...
Oh, they do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's very kind of bad. If you go on the Sims 3 website and you go on the Sims 4, they're totally different.
So are you saying, it's better just to stay on, their Instagram or Twitter page than to go on their website?
Yeah, don't, I think it's also because they don't have the content up there that you can download. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just like the Sims 3 website better. I've been on the Sims 2, I think. I think there was a Sims 2. It's been a while ago. But I just feel like they don't give enough updates. Definitely not. They don't tell you anything. Sims 3, they used to tell you all the time about random things. But
yeah.
The Sims 4, they're very, very quiet. And to me, if you're a gaming company, you shouldn't be that quiet unless you really, really don't want anything leaked at all.
Yeah, if you're trying to get it like
But
get everybody excited and anticipating for the next thing, then yeah, I can understand. But I
but
mean,
we're not really anticipating anything. It's just some more stuff packs that you have to pay $10 pretty much for, and then you most of the time you have to buy them online. So you
yeah,
have to
I think
have
you have to buy all of them online. The only ones you can't buy online, the ones you can buy like in the store, I know, are outdoor, get to work, and then get together. Those are the only three I've seen in the
well, they
stores.
have a pack where you can buy two of them
Oh, you mean
together.
like a bundle? Like yeah, the
Yeah,
bundle, the
yeah,
outdoor,
I've
and then
seen
the
them
two
at
packs.
Target
Yeah,
and all, but like,
I saw that. That's like $30, which is like you get
yeah, you
free.
can buy two of them for like
Yeah,
20. So why do you spend the extra $10 to get it in a? I don't know, but
true.
I feel like what they're doing is just kind of all wrong. I feel like whoever they let go really was a good like the heart of it, and a really
Probably.
good part of it, and like all the people who probably work for them. I don't think they work for them now. I'm not quite sure, but they probably lost a very great people, and I feel like they were the people that were really good, and now it's
Yeah. So I
not.
mean, yeah, and like I said, the trailer, as you guys saw, really didn't explain the expansion packs. The expansion pack, I guess, that's coming out. They did show the stuff packs, which is the kids and the restaurants. But it leads me to wonder, what is the next expansion pack? Now there was an article, and it was saying that they did a survey for The Sims for pets. I don't know if that's officially it. I mean, I did see a lot of like photos of what the cover would look like for The Sims 4 Pets, so that might be the next expansion pack that's coming out. But if you had to guess, what expansion pack do you think is coming out, or what would you like to hold? Do you think it's The Sims Pets, or is it just could it be something else? Or I don't know. What do you think? What do you think could be the pack?
I mean, personally, I don't know, because they will do things like that, but then all of a sudden, here's a brand new pack that you didn't even think of. I mean, because I
Don't
thought
mind her
that,
cat. It wants to be part of it, part of the show.
yeah,
And it's beating up the camera.
but he, but not he, but like, what was I saying?
You were. What was supposed to be the next pack? That cat really distracted you that bad. It got your tongue, didn't it? It got your
Yeah.
tongue.
But I don't know, because I feel like they're throwing out random packs, and
Because I mean, it did look legit. I mean, it looked like that's the pack that was coming out. But I mean, I'm not
I mean,
sure.
I've also seen quite a lot of good like cover art for things like that, and I don't know how some of these people do it, but they do it really
Magic.
good. And I'm just like, wow, this could totally be pack. But when I thought of packs for The Sims 4, like when it first came out and everything, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. There's gonna be this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Oh my gosh, there's so many possibilities, and then they give you these like kind of packs, and you're just like, where are the possibilities? I mean, now I can do some yoga. I mean, I
Yoga.
I don't have. Yeah, they have. It's the spa pack. You can do yoga.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like now you can do yoga and get a spa. But I mean, if I wanted that, I could go get custom content, and it's like I want the people who are creating The Sims now to.
There's a reason why they left. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, there was a reason. I
Yeah,
want them back too, but
They really need to step up their game.
EA needs to go back. Hear us, EA? Go get them back. Bring them
I
back.
mean, because to be honest, I don't hear on YouTube. I don't hear a lot of good comments about The Sims 4. I hear a lot of bad comments of how they just don't like the game, in general. And most of the time they've been Simmers for a while,
It's pretty hard.
so they know The Sims 2, the original Sims, and The Sims 3, and now here they come a pack, and it's not living up to their standards. It's not living up to my standards, so that's why I'm not gonna really play it anymore.
And unfortunately, I still gotta play it because a lot of our lovely viewers will have to watch me finish these challenges. So I still have to play it. So I have to go through and figure out what challenges to do, even though I'm pretty much drained out. But hey, Maybe there's always hope. I'm always hopeful. Maybe it could happen. Maybe one of their big expansion packs will just be like, I really doubt it though, because I think we're just you and I are so creative that if we say weather, we're thinking like tornadoes and hail, and that's not gonna go be in there. It's just gonna be rain, sunny, and all that. Nothing of those catastrophes.
I mean, I know the season was a very, very, very big expansion pack, and I think it's just in anyone, but I saw like the podcast and everything live for The Sims 3 seasons when it came out, and I'm just like, they really did a fantastic job, and it's like, how can you make that better? There's several ways you can easily
add catastrophes. I'm telling you, if you added some catastrophes in there, that'd be pretty cool. Like the news,
do it, but
be pretty dope. Yeah, they're probably not gonna do it. It might just be the same thing, just with the better graphics. That's what I could see it like that.
Different graphics. I wouldn't say better. I just say different graphics.
Well, more in it's probably just more real. I guess cartoony realistic type of graphics.
Like the rain in The Sims 3. Like, that is something I really, really appreciate, because if you, like, even just look at a puddle while it's raining, like, the little circles things when it drops, like, I mean, it's so detailed. I don't think you
can do it on there, but it's hard. It's because it's like, it's like, I want catastrophes, like, I'm just saying, because usually around the fall time, you start getting, like, hurricanes. Like September for down where we live is hurricanes. You get the hurricanes, so it'd be nice to get some hurricanes, because it's nice to see how the Sims will react to a real life situation in the game. But I think I'm just thinking of it too much of a realistic standpoint.
Well,
that's why they need to sponsor me.
So
that's why they need to add me to your team. EA, if you hear me, I am asking you to please let me be a part of the team. I will make your game amazing. Promise. They're probably not gonna care about me, but it's whatever.
I would get better too. I think any
great team
would just make it better.
Great team, but we got to step off the topic of Sims because there's some other games that have come out. Well, one has come out, and the other is going to come out. And I definitely have been wanting to talk about this on the podcast for quite some time. Yes, we're gonna switch it from Sims to roller coasters. We've got Roller Coaster Tycoon World that has been released a while back in the month of March, and we've got Planet Coaster that's going to come out that has a beta out. And let me tell you, it is very interesting what's happening. So, for those of you guys who are roller coaster fans and you guys love the Roller Coaster Roller Coaster franchise, they came out with a new one, Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Now, the game was supposed to be originally released back in December, but they decided to go ahead and delay it because they got pretty much hammered with bad reviews and everything. It was terrible. The betas people didn't like. They thought they were terrible, laggy. The game was just very unpolished, and they decided to go and delay it so that they could take the time out to polish it. And they finally released the beta in, was it March or April? I think it was March, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was March.
It was in March. Near the end of March.
Yeah, because it was a few days after your birthday.
Yeah, so at the end of March, I think it was March 27th, I think it was released. They officially released it. Now, during this time, there was another challenger, and these are by... But, I think the Frontier made it. Frontier made the game, and it's Planet Coaster. And
it's Frontier and another one.
Oh, I didn't. I just saw Frontier. Yeah.
And then you have Frontier for Planet Coaster. Just Frontier.
Yeah, Frontier for Planet Coaster, and then a new company took on Roller Coaster Tycoon World because there was a different...
No.
There was like three... There was a person that was making it originally, and then somebody came over and took it. I forgot their names. I'm so sorry, I really wish I could remember the names here.
It makes it sound like we don't know what we're talking about.
I know, it makes it sound so unintelligent. It's like, come on, guys.
It's like, I've been in Summer forever, but I don't know.
I've been following it, but I haven't... I just know Frontier and Planet Coaster. Look, that's how much I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon World. But anyway, So Planet Coaster came out, and it's a competitor to Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and Planet Coaster has been getting a lot of praise. It has been beloved, and they released their beta a while back, and it's just right now taking over the roller coaster simulation games right now. Now, for me, Roller Coaster Tycoon World, I played it, I have it. We both have the game. We don't have Planet Coaster. I really want that. One of us needs to get it, but we have Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and from what I've played, the game is good. I do like some of the mechanics that they have. There are some mechanics I don't like for example the controls. The fact that I can't use my mouse, I really don't know what they were thinking with that. Why would I want to use the keyboard to move around? But whatever. I don't like that, and I don't like how when you zoom out, if you do like flower pots around each other, you can't see those when you go the farther you go out. And then when you get closer, if you do like really nice paths, really long paths, you can't see that. So that's not something I really like about Roller Coaster Tycoon World, but it's still overall it's good. It's not. It could be better. It'll get better. I know they had an update that released a lot, so far it's good.
Well, my game is extremely, extremely glad.
I know. I saw it. I felt so
It's
bad
bad.
for you. It was like going almost frame by frame. It was like, oh man.
Yeah, and even now, I can't. When I try to build a coaster, it takes forever because it doesn't want to load, so it's
Yeah.
really, really slow.
Yeah, and if you guys want to check out because we did reviews and gameplay on it, if you guys want to check it out, just go on to our other channel, The Bloodmates. It'll be in the link in the description below, and go watch those two reviews. You can see the difference in gameplay. Mine wasn't the smoothest, but it was decent. And hers was, you could just see like it was almost, you almost felt bad. So. Okay, that was the worst way to bring it back. Hi guys, welcome back. We do apologize that we had to cut it short that one day. Some things
That
came
one
up.
day, I was like,
Well, that one day,
yeah.
but we had to cut it short. So of course you see that I'm wearing different clothing. So, but we're back, and we wanted to go ahead and continue. Now, during the podcast after we got done with that day of recording, I actually did look up the name of the people who originally started with Roller Coaster Tycoon World. And it was originally Area 51, and then the people that took over from them was Pipework Studios, and then Invisio Creation. So now I don't have to sound like an idiot in front of the whole YouTube world. But that's now out of the way. So we were continuing off with Tycoon World versus Planet Coaster, which, if you don't know what those are, go look them up. It's the top simulators in the franchise. And we were talking about Tycoon World and if it has the potential to regain its title as the best roller coaster simulator in the business. So, Destiny, what do you feel?
Nope.
Wow, that was just a straight up answer. No, no.
I'm sorry, but my game right now it won't even load. Before it says it's not
yeah.
responding. Yeah, and I haven't been able to play it, and I don't know how long. It's extremely slow, and every time I just want to build a coaster, a simple coaster, it freezes every 3 seconds, so I can't really completely build a successful track and coaster. So.
Yeah, I know they when we first got it, they did do an update, which was the first big update for the game. And I know when I first played it, well, after I played it after the update, I couldn't even get into the game itself. Like it would go into the menu, I'd go to the park that I built, and then it would just be stuck at 72%, and then it would freeze, and then it would just crash, and then it crashed my desktop entirely. Now, I don't know if that was just because my hard drive was going bad at the time, because it seemed to work now, but I haven't played it since, so I'm unsure if that was just the game itself or was it my hard drive. But yeah, the game for me works. It works well. I guess because I don't have the beefiest specs on my computer, that could be why it's not as good as it could be. But it works very fairly well. There's just only a few things I just don't like about the game. So I try to give it the best and most honest opinion that I possibly can give it. The game for me works pretty well. It's okay. It's got some nice features about it. I do like some of the things. The one thing I don't like are the peeps. I don't think they are very well detailed. I think once you get a little closer to them, they're a lot better than I guess like the third game, but they just kind of still seem like a little bit of an afterthought. Like they're not all that great. I do like the fact they have their own personality, like clothes and hairstyles and looks, but it just doesn't look all that impressive to me. So, and I guess that's where we go to Planet Coaster. Now, I don't have the game, as I said before. I would really like to have the game, but I don't. But from what I've seen and the live streams that I've been watching with it, it is extremely impressive, and it's only in beta. And it's doing fairly well. It seems like you really pretty much can create anything with that. You could do a Disney park in the game if you wanted to. That's how good it is. And it's very well detailed. It looks perfect. It looks absolutely stunning. I love the graphics in that. It looks very good. So I know this is already starting to become probably the best game. They think when I was reading it's like almost the best game of the year or the best simulator of the year. I know it's doing definitely much better than Tycoon. It's been getting a lot of praise and a lot of love from a lot of people. So it almost makes you wonder, what is Roller Coaster Tycoon, or I guess Atari, what are they doing wrong with Roller Coaster Tycoon World? How can they redeem themselves to maybe bring them back into the game and get all that love that they pretty much lost during the times of all their betas and delays? How can they get that love back? What do you feel?
What do I feel?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I watched a video the other day of someone playing Planet Coaster, and that was like, I think that was the first time I've seen someone play it, and it was amazing. Like the road connecting, it was so much easier than Tycoon, even though like it moves like, you know how like just automatic kind of like moves like weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
It connected so much more easier, and it just like the way he did everything, it was so amazing. Like put lights everywhere, and it was beautiful, and you could change how, like, if you want to put a light down, you could see if it went up or down, you can move it up or down. And the people, the way I really like the way the people looked, because saw another video from Planet Coaster, how this little couple, how they just started holding hands and holding each
Oh,
other,
that's
and it was
nice.
so cute. Yeah, and it's just like things like that just makes Planet Coaster better, because the Peeps and Roller Coaster Tycoon, they just they don't look like they have any emotion. Even
That's
though
the one thing I don't
you'll
like.
get
Is
you'll get sick and hungry and everything, but like
it's not
when you
realistic.
have the people coming to your park seem like real people. Seem like there's real relationships and real kids and real people and troublemakers. That makes the game 100% better. And then because this guy was doing like 3 different games in one video, but you definitely got to see on the picture, like the thumbnail, both of like the same not roller coaster ride, with Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster, and you could just tell the difference. Planet Coaster looked looked more realistic than Roller Coaster Tycoon, and it was just, I don't know how, really. Roller Coaster Tycoon, I've been to Roller Coaster Tycoon. I don't know what they call the people who like them, but Tycooners or something, I don't know. Who knows?
Tycoonists.
I don't know. But I've been one of those for a while, and I mean, I like their games, but now when you have someone who looks like they could do it better, you would expect them. I guess that's why they took so long to release it, but you would expect them to do even better. And I think the worst part is that it's Frontier who's doing it. It's not even some random company. It's the company who does Roller Coaster Tycoon decided to do their own game.
Yeah, so you kind of can probably see who was like, because I think Frontier came in when I was reading out. They came in for Tycoon 3, and that was a good game because there were different people who made the first one, the second one. Frontier did the third one, and then now you have this one, which is by Invisible Creations, and then Frontier is now doing Planet Coaster. So it's like, it is very sad because Tycoon was, I guess, the only Tycoon Simulator franchise that was doing well, and they kind of had that market. And now that they have competition, it almost seems like that Roller Coaster Tycoon world is kind of falling apart a bit because they had betas out, but they didn't do anywhere near as well as this beta that was released is doing. And that's kind of showing a lot from what we can expect when the game officially releases. Is that if they're doing this well in the beta and there's only very few mistakes that need to be fixed, imagine when the actual game comes out, that's going to do just even better. And they're going to have a lot more because I think they did a lot of things right. One, they probably added a lot of stuff that people have been wanting for Roller Coaster Tycoon for quite some time in the world. Basically, since we're comparing those two, I think one of the one things that I know people wanted was dark rides. I think that's what it's called, and I think they have that in their game in the beta. So it's kind of interesting to see how Roller Coaster Tycoon World is finally listening to their fans and they're giving them what they want. But by the time they're doing it, Planet Coasters already have it done, and they're adding a lot more. And as far as I guess, I don't know what they call it. They call it peeps or just people or just whatever. But
I don't think they gave it a name to
yeah, I
them.
don't think they gave it a name. So I'm just gonna say the people in the game are very well detailed. They're very realistic. They have their facial expressions are real. It's like having real people in the game. So it's a really nice thing to see that even the people have a level of detail to them where you can see their facial expressions when they're riding a roller coaster. You can see the little couples holding hands and the kids excited. It's a really nice thing to see. And I don't know. I think if Roller Coaster Tycoon World wanted to claim number one spot, I don't think they'll be able to really do it with this one because I think by the time they get to everything that they really need to, it's too late because Planet Coaster already kind of beat them to it. Everything on Planet Coaster looks just much better, and it just works much better. And I definitely want to get the game so that I could be able to do a much better comparison between the two. But from what I'm seeing, it just seems like that everything that Planet Coaster was supposed to be everything Tycoon World should have been, and they're now doing updates and things like that. But to me, I feel like they just waited way too long to finally give people the game. It was supposed to be released back in December of 2015, and they ended up delaying it because it got so many bad critiques. Everybody said it was terrible, it was horrendous. It literally was like an alpha type of thing, even though they were planning on releasing the full game. So they kept delaying it because they were trying to get all these issues fixed. And when they finally got it fixed, but then they released it. Either I think a month before Planet Coaster was released. So because I guess they were trying to beat Planet Coaster's beta before it actually came out. But even still, there was still a lot of key features missing from Tycoon World. You were just kind of getting the base of the game. You were just finally being able to play the base of the game, and it played fairly decently. Even though for you it was laggy as crap, they finally made an update with better improved graphics and all these extra things they added. But regardless, the game is still nowhere near where it should be, and I think that's where Tycoon World is getting killed. Is that when they were releasing this game should have almost been as near as good as Planet Coaster, because Planet Coaster's beta is doing extremely well, and it's only going to get better as they continue to get feedback from people. And even I've seen in the comments people who played Tycoon for years and who were there for the original have said they are officially going over to Planet Coaster. They find that Planet Coaster is the better game, and that speaks a lot for Tycoon World because it's like you're losing those people who love this franchise so much. You're losing them to another company who basically got it right. who basically have said, you know what, everything we do is gonna you're gonna see it. You're gonna see the time, the detail, the passion, the love that went into this game, and you're gonna see a game that is almost perfect. So it's sad to see, but it goes to show you that they've had the business for so long. They were probably one of the only few simulation games, but this was the one that did extremely well. They had honed on in this market for so long, and now finally somebody who comes in takes over. Who came from them now has done a better job. Now their name and reputation kind of put in jeopardy. So people aren't going to look and say, "Well, Tycoon World was one of the best." They're going to People still say Tycoon 1 was the best game. Out of all of them, Tycoon 2 or Tycoon 3, those were the best games. You know, but hello. But anyway, like I was saying, so I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of see that when you have the market for so long and somebody kind of takes over, it really does make you realize whether were you giving the people the best they could give. Which leads me to the main question: is that this could The Sims 4 need competition in order to maybe realize they're not as good as they may think they are? Will it actually have to take somebody else to come in and say, I could create the same exact game but better? Do you think that is a possibility? Do you think that could even happen? Or will Sims be the only game of its type that does well?
Well, I hope that someone does come in because I am playing Sims 3 and Sims 2, and I need my Sims 1 game back so I can play number 1, the original Sims. But once I do, they're the only 3 games that I play. I don't play the 4th one because there's so many bad things about it. So they're not going to make a 5th one, obviously, if it doesn't get better.
No, if it doesn't do well, they said they are not even thinking about the 5th one. And that's almost sad that they can't even, that the game is not doing as well as they do, to the point where they can't even consider a 5th Sim. So, uh-oh.
But, I mean, if they actually had someone in there to do better than they are, of course, if it's better, I'm going to buy it and try it out. But not just that, but they need someone to challenge them. It's like, when you have 2 stores of the same thing, like McDonald's and Burger King, they're always somewhere near each other because they're battling for the best. They're always going to try to give you the best deals, the best thing. So it's like when you have 2 games of pretty much the same nature, there's going to be battling, and you're going to want the one that does best. Of course, the other one may be put out of business, which is not necessarily the greatest thing, but then again, I mean, The Sims is right now, they're not doing very good. They need someone there to make them better, whether, it is a new company that can do a game, a life simulator like that, or if it's just they need new people in there to
management or something.
Really, to manage it, because they're not doing a very great job by just what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and I mean, because there's another example of, 2 competitors in the same franchise is Call of Duty and Battlefield. You got people who love Call of Duty, you got people who love Battlefield, but when you play one game, you find one game to be better than the other. You like if you say you were a Call of Duty fan and for years you loved playing Call of Duty, but at some point Call of Duty their game started getting bad, and you go play Battlefield, and you're like, well, Battlefield lets you fly helicopters, you have helicopter battles, you can drive tanks, and Call of Duty you can't. It's like you're ending up losing all those fans that were with you from the very beginning. They're now gravitating to somebody who they feel is better because they're feeling like they want the same thing from you, but you're not giving it to them. So I feel like for a lot of people who may like The Sims, they're more than likely people who may have came during The Sims 3 or just The Sims 4 they played. So they feel like, okay, well, I love The Sims 4. Stop bashing it. It's not, it's not a bad game. It's really good, and that's your opinion, and that's fine. And if you don't feel like it's a bad game, then that's understandable. Nobody's saying it's a bad game. We're just saying it's not living up to the potential that it could live up to, because when you get a new game, you expect it to bring elements from that previous game or from previous games before it, and then take those and enhance them. give it something that the other games didn't have. So when you're thinking about that, The Sims 4 doesn't do that. You're very limited to what you can do in just the base game alone. Even in The Sims 3, if you just had the base game, there were things you could still do to have fun in the base game. Then you had your expansion packs, and I guess stuff packs too in their own way. But even
Yeah.
even still, with The Sims 4, everything really relies on the expansion and stuff packs to really give the game that sense of it's a good game type of feel. And to me, that's really not a great game in itself. For me, if the game can stand on its own with the base, that's a good game. And the expansion packs and the stuff packs help to make it better, help to give you a better experience. That's to me how a game should be. You have a great game in its base, and your DLCs and your expansion packs make it better, so you can do a lot more. It shouldn't be where the base game is bad, and you have to get together and get to work in order to do any more. Then, if you want better clothing, then you either got to go to get the custom content or buy their stuff packs. It's like you're putting so much money into The Sims 4. What do you really? Is that even really worth your money? Kind of thing. Like you're if you buy the expansion packs right out, they're usually like $40. That's $80 for two expansion packs so far. Then you've got to think about the stuff packs, which are usually $10 each. And I don't really know how many stuff packs they have. I forgot. But you're already around spending, you're already spending over a little over $100 for all of this stuff. Unless you go and wait for them to put it on a discount, then it might be a little less. But even still, you're spending over $100 on all this stuff, and it's like that. To me, it's just like, really, like I have to, in order for me to really enjoy The Sims 4, I have to constantly put money into buying the latest and greatest stuff packs. To me, that's not worth it. If I'm gonna put my money into something, it's supposed to enhance the experience, not not literally have. That's what's going to make my experience better. It's supposed to give me the ability to have enhancements. It's supposed to let me be able to enjoy the game even more than I enjoyed it now. So I'm saying, oh, this game was nice. Now they got a DLC that allows me to see tornadoes. Oh, that's really sweet. You know, and yeah, I can understand, and the way I don't think that The Sims 4 is possibly working on the expansion packs that people really want. They may be trying to see how the game even does, how they do with these expansion packs they're giving out. Because somewhere along the lines, they should announce something that people want. There was, article that was showing like an idea of what the Sims pets could be like, and a lot of people do like the Sims 3 pets. So that's a good expansion pack to release, but they do a very poor job of telling you what's coming in an update. So you have an update, you go into Origin, your Sim 4 update, and then you're like, well, what is it? What's the update? And it only tells you is when it's like, check out what we put in our latest update. It's not a thing where you could have solely a site, or just they tell you you've kind of got to click on it, then go to the browser, then kind of read what's going on. They don't do a good job with that. They don't do a good job of really distributing their content. So even if when you usually find out about the Sims 4 stuff, like usually when I found out about it, it was usually through like a community that I had on Facebook. That's usually where I find that out. The trailers don't really seem to do a good job of really making the content interesting. It's just kind of like, oh great, another expansion pack, cool, that's awesome. But they don't really do a good job of making it like, oh man, this seems like it's gonna be really good. Because my big thing is that I'm just waiting for the university and the seasons. Those are my two. Yeah, if anything else after that is cool, but my two are university and seasons, because I really want to see what they're gonna do, especially with seasons. I want to see natural disasters. I want to see some tornadoes fly through and swoop somebody's house and throw it somewhere. I want to see that. I want to see some flooding. I want to be able to have the decision of whether to stay and ride the hurricane out or get my behind out and leave. That may not happen in The Sims 4, but I would like to see that, because the game, in a sense, is supposed to be based off of real life, and I want to be able to feel like that when I go into this game, I'm going into a whole nother world, and everything's so unpredictable. Like this, to me, The Sims are just extremely like dumb. They're just dumb. I don't like that. Like, I want them to have some level of intelligence. Like, why are you gonna go? Why are you gonna go to a door and not think to open the door? Why do I gotta tell you to open the door? That's too much. Like, they should just, okay, open the door themselves. Or if something's in the way, why do I gotta move that thing out of the way just for them to be able to go ahead and go? Why do they gotta be like, and yell at me? Like, I didn't know. They should be smart enough to do that themselves. The basic things. I just want the Sims to have some common sense. That's all I want. I don't want them to be dumb. I want them to be smart. I don't want them to be too smart. But I want them to be dumb. I want them to interact with Sims more than just, I either like you or I hate you. I want the ones where they're deceptive. I want the ones that are just, that are bullies. Because I want it to feel like it's real life. Now, of course, if you get into true realism, you'd have to make the game rated R, because then you'd have to think about the cops and all that other stuff. Nobody wants to do all that. If you're gonna display, the kiddie game, you can do that. But my thing is why can't they just make it? Why can't they make those type of improvements in the Sims game? To me, that's how the game could be better. And I know they're probably not going to do that, but it would be really nice to see those type of things come into place. That's just how I see the Sims. I see especially the Sims 4. I see the Sims 4 being able to do those type of things. They have the capability of doing it. It's not that they don't. It would take some time, and for me, as a buyer and as a consumer and a person who wants to get into the franchise, I would be willing to wait if I know that they're really putting their heart into making this game great. If they're really trying to say, we want every expansion pack to be really good and just really on point, I have no trouble waiting for quite some time. I don't. But if you're going to release content, for me, and it's not good, then to me, it wasn't worth you releasing it, because you could have spent more time on it. Get to work. It's a good pack. It's a decent pack. But why isn't that they don't add more careers to it? See, when I first saw it, my thinking was that, okay, they're giving you these careers, but they're gonna add more careers to it. That's what I thought how it was going to work. Doesn't really seem like they've really done that. It doesn't seem like they're adding more careers. Even the basic careers that you get in the Sims 4 base game when you're going to look for a job, why aren't those now in the get to work? Being a spy, being an astronaut. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't mind being able to go into a different world in space and seeing what they're doing in space.
Military. They don't have the military.
Yeah, like the military, like all of these things, they don't have in the get to work. And to me, it's starting to make the get to work not as fun as it was when it first came out. It's like they could be adding a lot more to these expansion packs to really make them better and better. And they're just kind of they're releasing new expansion packs and just keeping the regular ones the way they are. Like, Get Together, don't get me wrong. To me, that was the best looking one, the best one so far. But how long is it going to be before I say, well, now I don't really want to play it anymore, because there's nothing to really keep me stimulated. I've done all I wanted to do. I kept doing the same thing over and over again. Kind of done with The Sims 4.
Just party every night,
Yeah.
Just, partying gets boring. But I think the worst part about the game is that when I first got The Sims 4, I how you get so excited to play a new game and you get it in and everything and you start playing it. After the first day, probably like few hours after I finished creating the person and everything, I wasn't excited to wake up and play the game or anything. It was just like, I got into the game. It was like, unlike The Sims 3, it was like, oh my gosh, It's like, oh my gosh, when I got The Sims 3, I got The Sims 3 with the season, so that was pretty much 2 packs in one. But, I mean, you should be excited about playing games. If you're not excited about playing the game,
then you're not going to be you're not going to want to come back. Because there are certain games that I have played, I loved, and then I would keep playing it over and over again and still have a good time playing it because it was just that good. That's how I like to play my games. If the game is so good that by the time either I don't want to beat it or I beat it and I want to play it again. That's to me a really good game, is that you can play it, do the same missions over again and still have fun. And when I first bought The Sims 4, I was very excited. I spent literally hours creating just a character of myself. took me hours. I was really tired afterwards, and I didn't even go into the game. I didn't go until the next day, and then after that, I kind of stopped playing The Sims 4, and I never played it. I didn't really play it since. It wasn't until I started, really having really, thinking of challenges in the game that I wanted to do.
And
That's where
custom
I
content.
yeah, and custom content. That's where I kind of got back into the game. But then by then, I was actually playing more of The Sims 3 because when I was buying expansion packs, it was just for The Sims 3 because they had a lot. They had cooler looking ones like the seasons and the late night and the university, which are the ones,
Supernatural.
yeah, which was the ones I had. And even their little previews, it was like, oh, Into the Future looks pretty sweet. I want to try that. But with The Sims 4, I didn't really feel that excitement, that drive to want to go back and go into it because when I tried to do things in The Sims 4 before they even released expansion packs, there was nothing really to do. I literally was just watching my sim do the same thing, and they would and like their needs would go down so fast. I was too nervous to go and work out because I felt like they were gonna pee on themselves before I made it there, or they were gonna just fall asleep. It seems like their needs just drain quickly. So
Mhm.
I just fed them. 10 seconds later, now they're hungry again. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just fed you. Like, I'm literally just watching my sim do what I would do in real life: go downstairs, eat, come upstairs, watch some TV, play a game, go to bed, and then do it again. Like,
Go to the bathroom, take a shower,
yeah, that's not fun. Like, come on
meet a
now.
few people.
In the Sims 4, I probably spent more time designing anything, everything. I would spend hours designing the house than I would actually playing the game. Because once I was done designing the house, I just quit the game because it's just like I don't feel like there's nothing I can do. So I'm just gonna spend my time building and creating. So for
That's
me,
like with me, but I use this. I build this. I create Sims, and then because like my Sims are really good because I have plenty of custom content, and I'm just like, yes, I love this Sim. I want to go play with it. But then as soon as you put it in a house, you're just like, this is boring. Because I
mm,
mean, there's nothing to do. Even with get to work and get together. I mean, get to work. I could make my Sim be a doctor. It entertained me for like a day. But I mean, it's still nice once in a while to be a doctor, but there's just
it's nothing. It's not enough to be like, okay, I could keep doing this. I could do this all day. Like
yeah.
if you watch like any like I guess a doc like a show that in the medical field, all those shows about medical fields. That would be nice to see some of that action in there. You've got people running around talking about cold blue or something, and you got unexpected pregnancies and unexpected people who need surgery.
Well, I think the biggest thing they need to work on is the fact that for the get to work, the doctor, I mean, like the hospital, you can't even go click on it. You can only get to the hospital when you need to go to work.
Yep,
So,
that's gonna
same
be
thing
the
with
next expansion
the
pack. Get to the
science career.
hospital.
And, yeah, in the like the jail, police station.
That's what. And I mean, come on, yeah, like they could have made that even interesting too. Like that to me, that's just it's just not enough. It's not a. It's just literally like they just made the expansion pack and
Everything's
said
too
here.
separate.
Yeah, they made the expansion pack. They said here you guys go. This is something to keep you entertained. Put it in a new world. The old worlds still are boring as crap. So even if I go, I have to go into the new worlds in order to really enjoy these expansion packs. The old world, I can't do that. And then it's just like, well, this was fun, and then you just never do it again. Like, how many? I don't really know any person that has so far said I've gone back to The Sims 4 every time and just been in love with it since. Just in love. Just
Hmm.
it's you get in love with it like the first time, and then after a while you kind of just are like, I'm gonna go back and play The Sims 3 or The Sims 2. Sims 1 was pretty good. I like that game. I never played The Sims 1 before. Let me go play that and see. You end up just not having the desire. You gotta go to play the older games and do the newer games. And to me, Sims definitely would need some competition. I feel like if they had a person that came in and they did exactly what they were doing and gave people what they really wanted, then it would really show how really good The Sims 4 actually is. Because is it only good because of the fact there's nothing else out there that's like that? Because if you have nobody else creating the exact same game, and it's getting popular like The Sims, you kind of just try to find the good things about the game. But if you have somebody, kind of how like Roller Coaster Tycoon World is in Planet Coaster, you have somebody who takes the same thing you're doing, makes it better, look better, feel better, play better, has everything people wanted. You kind of look at the other game and you're like, well, this what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're gonna get you there. We're trust me. But it's like by the time Tycoon World comes up, Planet Coaster is already gonna be demolishing. Because you got, and then not only that, but what makes the game even better with Planet Coaster, for example, is that if you go on their site, they have all this other stuff you can have. Like if you want to spend $500 to get your name in a park, or be part of the staff of the Planet Coaster game, you have the ability to do that. And yeah, I may not spend $500 or $10,000 on it, but the fact that you can even do that is pretty cool. To me, I would, if I had the money, I would probably do it because that's really cool. That's you're giving people an incentive. Like, okay, well, we're not just gonna make a game that's really good. We're also gonna give you the ability to have a park named after you, or we're gonna have a coaster named after you, or when we're in Las Vegas, your name is gonna be seen on here. That is like, okay, that's really cool. And Tycoon World, they don't have anything like that. You don't really have an incentive. You know what your incentive is? If you spend $100, you get the rest of the games. And while that may be cool, if you already have the games, I mean, then there's no really purpose of spending that money. And if you wanted to do it for the betas were so terrible, you would have felt like you wasted your money. So Roller Coaster Tycoon World is just, you're getting the game, and that's kind of it. You're not really getting any other incentives outside of the game that would make you want to play it more. And I think Planet Coaster hit all the points that Tycoon World didn't hit. And therefore, Tycoon World really may have a chance, but they're really going to have to do a lot of work to really gain back all that momentum that they had for so long and gain back all the fans that they had. Because you got people looking at Planet Coaster who are Tycoon fans and are so impressed by it. They before the beta or anything even came out, we're saying this is game of the year. This is the best. This is the better game between the two. This game is perfect. They already said that, and the game wasn't even released. So that already gave Planet Coaster a huge lead in the roller coaster simulation. So they need to like think about it. Like, could this be the end of Tycoon? It's like, well, can they redeem themselves after this? And it's almost like, well, they kind of can't, because they have to catch up with what Planet Coaster is doing. They have to literally catch up with everything they're doing, and then say, how can we do it better? And right now they're behind. Right? Yeah, their game is out, so they're able to get. But it's kind of like you're still getting a beta. Like, you're still getting updates. And these updates are big. To help improve the graphics, to help give more features. You're getting this, and in one beta, you get all this stuff with Planet Coaster. So it's like, do you have a chance? And I think for something like The Sims, they need competition. You need competition, because competition helps you think outside the box. It lets you be more creative. It says, okay, how are we gonna make our game better so that this way this person doesn't beat us? And you start thinking about that. So I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, they're not going to make it. I think The Sims 4, I honestly do think that this is the last one, because unless they can come out with something that is going to be better, they're really not going to. I don't really see the future of a Sims 5. I know there are people out there who are asking about The Sims 5, but I don't really think there is going to be a Sims 5. There's just not. That's just how it's going to be. Right now, The Sims 4 isn't doing well as it should be, and I don't know what expansion packs or things they're coming out with. Hopefully, they can grab the attention of the audience, but, restaurant and kids stuff, I mean, that should have been already a part of the game. It shouldn't have been a thing where now you decide to release it. It should have just been a free update. But, that's just what I think. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on in the future with all of this. I think what I may do is I just might get into the gaming industry and just create the game myself. So everybody vote for me, because I'm about to bring out the best games in the world. That's exactly what I'm thinking. But I see that look on your face. I see that look on your face. So we are gonna go ahead and end it. And is that a dog? That is a dog. Everybody say hello to the dog. But we're going to go ahead and end this podcast here because we have games to play and futures to live. So we hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed talking about it. Let us know. Okay. Let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think about a competitor for The Sims? You guys think there should be one? Or what do you guys think? Should there be one, or what does The Sims 4 or The Sims period have to do in order to get themselves back in the game? And also let us know if you guys do play either Roller Coaster Tycoon World or Planet Coaster. Who do you like? Who do you don't? And just let us know why. And I don't know, because my Destiny's camera is pretty much acting crazy. So is there anything you want to say before we go?
Not really.
Alrighty, well, guys.
Actually, if you know any good Disney custom content, please link it below because I would really like some Disney custom content for The Sims 3.
Alright, give us some good content for The Sims 3. If you know any, let us know in the comments below. And if you guys like this podcast, as always, go ahead and give this video a like, and also subscribe for more future podcasts and other videos we'll be doing on this channel. And also check out our other channel, the Blood Mates, where we play different types of games. Check us out there and make sure you subscribe to that channel. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Later.